All right, it's time for another Fibble. This is the game that's just like Wordle, but on every row, one of the clues is a lie. They're starting us with blink, and I had another challenge from someone that all of my guesses need to start with the letter that the previous word ended with. So basically, I'm gonna have to do a word that starts with K this time. But we can do, we have hard mode turned off because it might not be possible to do. So, look, we could do something with kilns. That would work. Repeat some letters and yeah, okay. Very good. Well, one of the I's is a lie, one of the K's is a lie. So everything else has to be true. All right, there we go, cool. So now we have to do a word that starts with an S, which we know there's an S at the end, but that's okay. So let's do skill, just go for more contradictions. Okay, one of these two K's is a lie, so therefore the gray I's are true. That means this is a lie, this is true, this is a lie, this is true, and there's no L, so this is the lie over here. Okay, very good. So we have an S at the end and no other information. Perfect, okay. And even though there's no L, we have to do a word with an L, so I'm gonna go for just new letters other than the L. I don't even know if I'm gonna do the S at the end. We could, but let's do laser. That's kind of fun. Okay, well, we know there's no L, so that's fine. The S, I mean, unless there's a second S, the S is true. So could we do something ASE, potentially? Well, no, because the S has to be at the end. Right. Okay, so if the E is true, then it ends in ES. Which is possible, because we can do plurals in Fibble, I'm pretty sure. And we could do something with an A, something like that. Now we have to start with R, because that's the rules with our challenge. But we could do RA something ES. Something like rates would work. Sure, let's go with that. Okay. So, well, one of the A's is a lie, so the R's are true. The E's are true. Okay, so it is ES. And again, unless there's another S in the third spot, this is true, which means the A is probably the lie. But it could be the lie on both. It could be the lie because it is like this. Either that or the T is the lie. And it could still be TES, or the T could be like at the beginning. It could be something like notes, but there's no N, but something like that, OTES maybe, or something. Or mutes. Mutes is possible. We have to do something that starts with an S. Oh, we know this S is true, by the way. I want to do the A again, I think. I don't really need to do the E and the S at the end. It would be kind of nice to repeat the T as well. SAT. Then what? Could do something like sated. And we'd have D to start the next word, which isn't bad. Let's go with that. Okay. Well, one of these two A's is a lie, so the gray T is true, which means the gray A is the lie. So there is an A, which again, so if the green A is true, then we've got this, which is what I'm thinking. Otherwise, if the yellow A is true, then the yellow S has to be the lie, which means it has to be green, because we know there is an S, so it would have to be A. Well, oh, hold on. We know this E is the lie. So the green A is true, this is a lie, this is true. Okay, there we go. So it is this. And there's not another S. So, I mean, we could do something like capes. What else could we do? Cages, capes and cages. Cafes, so there's several with C. Caves, so there's a bunch that start with C. So the problem is, I'm running out of guesses. So I have to start with a D. I want to end with a C so that I can then start with a C. But I want to try like B and G and P. I don't know. I can't even think of anything that starts with D and ends with C. I could also do a G, something like, debug, but this isn't working out well. Too many possibilities left. Okay. Well, I can't think of anything that ends in a C. I could do ending in a G. But then my next word, I'm assuming the answer starts with a C, which it doesn't necessarily. I mean, we've got games, for example, that starts with a G. The problem is if we end in a G, I don't know if there's a word that starts with G and ends in C on my next guess. I just realized it got kind of dark in here. I think the sun went behind a cloud. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, I guess... I don't know that I'm going to be able to get to a C to start with a C. So I'm thinking about debug, but I don't like that because we already know we already know the E. We know there's no B. We know there's no D, but I have to do D. But it's possible that it's like games. And so ending in G, then I could start with a G. Otherwise, I could end in an M, something like... like what? Like, dream isn't good. Datum? I mean, at least it checks the U, but... Because I was thinking then if I have M, then I could do magic to get to the C, if it is a C. And M is possible because of games, but... it's not great either. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about doing depth. Because from H, I can get havoc to get to a C. I will have checked the... I mean, it's fibble, so lies and things, but potentially I will have checked the P. Havoc will check the V, so then I would have checked for capes and caves, sort of. And if it's not a C, but the problem is I'm not going to know if it's a C. Because I can get from H to G as well, but I'm not going to know if it's a C or a G. So we could do Dutch. Because I need to know what first letter I'm trying to get to. But it's not going to check the P then, but I gotta go with that. Okay, well, we know the T is the lie. Okay, so there's no C. There's no C. Okay, so that just ruled out capes and cages and caves and cafes. That was huge. Okay, so, I mean, I'm thinking games, maybe? What else could it be? Yeah, it could be faxes, phases, wages. There's too many things. Pages, paves. I was focusing on the C. There's a bunch of words. There's several W's, there's several G's, there's several P's, there's several F's. Oh, and then we could repeat a letter too. We could do like E. Well, we can't do E's. There's not another S. Eves, though. Eves is possible. Let's do... I'm thinking about hinge, because I have to start with H. We'll check the G at least. I don't know. Well, we know the E is the lie. There is an E. Okay. And it's our last guess, so we've got A and ES, and we could do faxes and phases and waves and paves, and eaves. There's a lot of V's, A-V-E-S's. But I mean, it's our last guess, so I mean, I have very little chance of actually getting it. I don't have to start with E anymore. Because it's my last guess. Well, I guess it depends how you want to do the challenge. I would say when I think I'm guessing the answer, I don't have to do the last letter thing, but I guess I could do Eves because it starts with the E, but I mean, any of these could be the answer. I mean, I basically failed absent, a really lucky guess. Let's do phases, just because it'd be fun to guess a word with a Z in it. Or an X. We could do an X. Should we do faxes or phases? We don't guess Z's very often. We put X's in the grid all the time as a filler letter, so... I don't know. Let's go with phases. Oh, it was... I should have done the E thing. Oh! I almost did that too, because I was like, well, it starts with the E, at least I would... I didn't figure that was going to be the answer. All right, well, interesting. I failed the challenge, the solving. Yeah, I didn't think this was going to be so difficult. I think I spent too many guesses early on figuring out that it was A-E-S, and then I was stuck in the trap, and I didn't have good letters to... I think sated was my big mistake, because the D, I was thinking, well, the D will be fine at the beginning, but I couldn't come up with a word that started with a D and would check the letters I needed. I should have done a better letter at the end there of sate. Instead of sated, I should have done like sates or sater or something, and been able to have a better letter to start and check, and more possibilities then, so I could check more letters. But all right. Well, there you go. It didn't work out today. I'm going to do this challenge again tomorrow. Well, maybe I'll do it until I solve one, which hopefully will be tomorrow. But interesting. So there you go. Let me know how your solve went today, and if you've tried this challenge, how that worked out for you. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more.